Hello, I'm John McAllister with the John McAllister Sports Report. In my reports, I cover everything: college coaches, high school coaches, high school players, some college coaches or players, a lot of different things, other sports. And I try to do a lot of different things. Well, today we're going to go into my section called Around the State and look at high school football players which are college prospects. Talk to them one on one with my video podcast. A lot of questions, a lot of good answers. And most of the kids, most of the players I cover have a chance to be pretty good. I'm not a big star guy. I'm not a big social media guy. I evaluate. I evaluate talent, and this is one of the ways I do it. Is carrying on conversation with one of the players, prospects. Today, my guest is Tommy Hartings. Tommy's a 6'4", 200-pound quarterback. He had been going. This year he's gone to Olentangy High School. He's a left-hander, and he's worked really hard to get where he is. He needs the competition. He needs the experience. And I think he's going to get that at Olentangy. Likes the Ivy Leagues and maybe the MAC. Ivy Leagues would be a great place. And who knows? Who knows how good he can be? Appreciate it. Sit back and enjoy my video podcast with Tommy Hartings. Okay, as I said earlier in my intro, my guest today is Tommy Hartings. He is now enrolled at Olentangy High School. He's a quarterback, 6'3", maybe 6'4".
6'4".
How much you weigh now, Tom?
198.
That's really good. Get to about 215 before school next year.
Yeah.
Sounds really good. You are playing at Olentangy, and you've played the last few years at Worthington Christian. That's where I first saw you, at Worthington Christian. But it's got to be an exciting move for you. Tough move, but exciting move, right?
Yes, sir. I'm excited. It'll be really good.
Okay. What made you decide to be a football player, a quarterback? Well, I mean, what made you decide to do that? Where did it come from?
It came from my dad. He played football in college. I've grown up in a football family all my life. My cousin played quarterback in college. Four of my uncles played in college. One played in the NFL, obviously Jeff Hartings. So I've just grown up with the football around me. And I think I officially started in third grade. I was originally a wide receiver. That was a position I loved. And so I played wide receiver all the way up until probably freshman year of high school. Yeah, so I was wide receiver, and then my Uncle Jeff was the head coach at that time, and we were losing our starting quarterback. And he's like, I played baseball, so it's like, yeah, I threw a baseball pretty well. I pitched, and he's like, why don't you try throwing a football? And so I trained all that my sophomore offseason quarterback. I won the job as a sophomore, started as a sophomore at Worthington Christian as quarterback, played their sophomore year and junior year as quarterback, and now I'm at Olentangy competing for the starting job there.
Okay. Sounds really good. What other sports? You were a two-sport guy. What other sports do you play?
I played basketball in the past. I quit as a sophomore to focus on football. And then I've done track. So
you're doing track now?
I won't do it this year just because of my 7-on-7 schedule with Olentangy, and then also my 7-on-7 team. Okay. But I've high jumped in the past.
Okay, that's really good. 6'4", that's getting a high jumper. It's really good. Okay, so far, you're going into your senior year, but so far, as you look back, who have been some of the influences on your life? Not just football. Who have kind of guys that have kicked you in the butt or anything like that, said, hey, you can be better, you can do this? Anybody like that?
Definitely my dad. I mean, props to him. He's the one who's been pushing me throughout everything. We've had hard conversations with each other over the summer, especially going to camps. We drove together with all the camps, and we just had conversations about pushing me. And then I'd also say Coach Velasquez. I lift with him, and he definitely pushes me a lot in the weight room wise. So those are definitely the two most influential people in my life.
That's really good. I know Coach Velasquez.
He's
Uh,
awesome.
you're talking about the dad, right?
Yeah,
There's 500 Velasquez running around. I know
exactly.
he's a good man, and he'll have your back. That's two of the best things. He'll have your back for sure. It's good. It's good to know. I know him.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's awesome.
and then let's jump to camps real quick. Since you mentioned it, how important are camps?
I thought last year was really important for me. Um, Going into my junior year, I think the camps I went to with specific camps like Miami, Kent State, and then also mega camps. I went to the Wayne State mega camp, and just being able to make those connections with those coaches and getting those contacts is really big going into this offseason, especially because this is my last year. And so trying to push, get bigger, get stronger, and show your growth that you made from getting on their field at their camp to now seeing the progress you made from then.
Right, for sure. That's really good. Good answer, by the way. And I think in camps, I when I was really into it, I was all over the place. But I think it only takes one college coach to like you.
Yeah.
One guy looks at you and says, "Man, I see how maybe I can develop this guy."
Mm-hmm.
Well, it only takes one.
Yeah.
And don't go back to back to back to back. Oh, man, those old arms get left-handed here. Your old arm
Yeah.
is
Left-handed.
hanging. Okay. What are kind of like, oh, I have posters on my walls, and I did it when I taught school, and I did it when I coached football and track. What kind of words do you live by?
Yes.
What kind of words what kind of phrases or uh, little metaphors you live by?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say the quote by Wayne Gretzky, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take." I have that in my room. I love that quote. Um, I just think it means like you got to do everything you can to get you better every day. You can't miss a single thing you do. You miss a lift, you miss getting better. You miss a protein shake you drink, you miss getting better. So it's just stuff like those little things that I really like to live by. So you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I really like that quote.
I think that's really good. And I think as you get older and you're looking for jobs, it's the same thing. I
Yeah.
mean, you got to get after it. Okay. What school wise, I bet you're a pretty good student. So the library's not a foreign nation to you, right?
Yeah, definitely not.
Okay. What's your favorite subject in school?
I'm a big math guy, so I want to go into financial advising one day. So I love math.
Oh, man. If I don't cheat, I don't get through school math, man. I did okay in English and history, but math is wow. I have three silly questions. Here's the first one. If you could hang out with anybody for one whole day, 6 o'clock in the morning till midnight, who would it be? Who?
Yeah, that's a good question.
And it can
I'd
be
say
anybody.
I'd say probably Aaron Rodgers. I adore him as a quarterback. He's probably my favorite quarterback in the league. He's super smart. His mind is so fast when it comes to reading defenses and football wise. And I just love to sit down with him for a day and go through footwork and throwing stuff. I mean, his throwing motion's so smooth.
Yeah.
And then his mental game, obviously. So that'd be one really cool person to sit down with for a day and just learn from him.
I just read today that when head coach told him at Pittsburgh that he was retiring or leaving, I guess he got tears in his eyes.
Yeah, no, I saw that today.
Yeah, he got tears in his eyes because he liked him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Has there been in your all through your football career, your whatever, has there been like I call it scrapbook moment? Has there been a time when something you'll never forget? You'll talk to your buddies about it 10 years from now. Has there been one so far that you can never forget? If not, you're okay.
No, I mean, I'm trying to think game-wise. Like, I think personally, game 4 my sophomore year, we played some Cincinnati Hills Christian Academy. we played them at their place. I remember it was like a 2.5-hour drive.
Yeah.
I ended up third play of the game. We had the ball coming out, and I rolled my ankle really, really, really bad. So I ended up coming out for a drive. I remember my head coach coming up to me, getting his face right in my face, and he's like, "You got to get back in this game. We got to win this game." And I remember I went back in the game for the rest of the game. It was my left ankle, so it was my plant ankle. But it was one of those moments where it's like, you got to grind. We ended up losing the game by, I think, 3 or 4, which is terrible. That one hurts because we should have won that game. But it was one of those things that just taught me is grit. I mean, you got to grind through stuff in life and in football. I won't forget that game ever.
That's really neat. That's good. Okay, let's talk quarterbacking now. Let's talk quarterbacking. What do you think are your strengths right now as a quarterback?
I say obviously my frame. I'm 6'4", and then I'm building out weight wise. And then I'd say arm strength. I've got long arms, so I think I have a pretty good ball. And I think arm strength is definitely one of my strong suits.
Okay, I think it is, and I think there are times. If I look at your video, and I have once today, and I don't know, a month ago. And I think one of the things you can do, you can put RPMs on it when you have to. And I saw, and when you step up, I always look for the, I don't know, tight end drag or tight end seam. I always look for that pass because that shows that, you step up and wing it then.
Yeah.
And I think it's good. Your accuracy is pretty good as well. You don't want to do it all the time. You can drop down and sidearm.
Yeah, no, I normally do that when I'm rolling to my right. Last year I struggled a little bit with weight balance on that, so I had to compensate with my arm angle there. But I played baseball, so that's kind of natural to me.
Okay, well, I like that. I don't like people to teach it so much.
Yeah,
it's something you got to have natural. I mean, the pro guys you see, that's natural for those guys and stuff. And we're not pro guys yet. So it's really good. What do you think you have to work on?
My feet are slow right now. So that's one thing I've been working on with Brad, and then also Trevor Harris, who's locally, is quick feet. I was watching, going back on my film. Actually, I was doing that a couple of days ago, watching my feet with my quarterback coach, and we were just looking how slow my feet were compared to now. And so that's definitely one thing I want to show on film next year is getting quicker feet and then being able to be mobile in the pocket.
What was the last one?
Being mobile in the pocket, so being able to skate faster.
You're not too bad at that. Now, you're not going to run a 4.5. I call it escapability, but you can escape, and I think some of the stuff we get caught up in trying to focus too much. You either can or you can't.
Yeah.
I mean, you get better at it, but you can or you can't.
Yeah.
And that's really interesting to you. I think, as we talked earlier before we came on, strength is huge for you.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing you have to work on. I think the other thing you might have to work on, other things, is I think you have to follow through sometimes more. You're letting the ball go quicker. I think if you could, I teach quarterbacks differently, but boy, I just think you're going to have that, as you do most of the time, that little jab step on your left foot, just to get up moving.
Mm-hmm.
Not the pros, but you're not a pro. You're not as strong as those guys.
Mm-hmm.
They say some of them believe you can be flat-footed and still throw, but the key is getting stronger.
Yeah, definitely.
Getting stronger and now getting experience. And you're playing 7-on-7. I want to ask you about that in a minute. Second crazy question. What is one thing that nobody knows about you until now?
Oh, wow.
You're going to give a secret out that nobody knows about. What would that be? You're afraid of cats. I don't know.
I'm allergic to cats, so I do not like cats.
Okay.
But no, one thing interesting about me is I would die for a good lasagna. I'm a huge Italian guy. I love Italian food. And Marcella's lasagna, that's one of the best foods I've ever had in my life. So
I'll have to write that down and make sure I get that down.
No, it's real good.
Let's talk about film study. Is it important?
Oh, definitely 100%.
And then how do you approach film? See, I think with what you guys have now, well, I got my phone here. I can watch video on here, as you know. I
Hmm.
mean, and back in the old days when your uncles played, it wasn't quite that easy.
Yeah.
But and your dad played. But why in film study? What do you look for in film study?
So one thing my dad's taught me is a way of watching film is you watch the play 3 times. So the first time you watch the play, you watch the result because that's what you do when you watch film. You look at the result of the play. And then the second time you watch it, you dig deep into what you did wrong in that play. Um, and so you see what you did wrong, you see what you want to fix, and then the third time you watch it, you see what you did right. And you praise yourself for what you did right because it's good to be good on you, but it's also good to be bad on you. Um, so that's one way I like to look at film study is you watch the play for the result and like see the defense and see what they were doing on that play, and then look what you did wrong, and then see what you did good.
We well, this is like when I coached football many moons ago. I was at DC for a couple of years, and the quarterback we were playing that week, and this is just through films back in the old days,
Mhm.
but if the ball was going to the right, he looked right first. If he was going to hand off left, he looked left first. I mean, he always came up and the ball. Well, we saw that on video, and sure
Mhm.
enough, in the game, I mean, obviously they did pretty well too, but at least we had an idea of what he was doing. And
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
I told their coach after the game, he was a senior. I said, I'm not telling you what to do, but check your video out or your tape out because you could tell where the ball was going. So
Mhm.
sometimes if you study film so much, you get that. That's really good. Okay, last question, last silly question. This is good. It's good. I have a few more and we'll go. We'll be done. What talent would you like to have that you don't have and you'll never get it?
I'll
What
never
talent?
get it. Oh, okay. Um, Probably playing the guitar. I'm not musically inclined at all, but my sister is very musically inclined, and she plays guitar all the time in her house. And I've always thought it was really cool to play guitar. I've tried before, I could just never figure it out. That definitely one thing I wish I could do is play guitar.
Good. Okay. Now let's go. We're more serious questions here now. What's energy is huge. Okay. I mean, I'm 77 years old. I still have energy. I still get excited. I still want to be the best. What kind of energy are you going to bring to Old and Tangy this year? What kind of
Um,
starting now or football season, anytime? What's
yeah.
your energy? What are you going to bring to them?
I mean, I'm gonna bring my best every day. I'm not a natural like outgoing leader, so my way of leading is lead by example. So I'm gonna work my tail off all the time in the weight room. But then you also got to gain the trust of everyone. So you got to be a leader out there. You got to be vocal. You got to hype people up. You got to be that rack leader at your rack. You got to be your group leader at group runs. So that kind of thing. I mean, it's just being very vocal and being very encouraging. I think is one thing I'm gonna bring to the team this year.
I would tell you being vocal is okay, but they better respect you, or they're not
Yeah.
going to listen to you. Now, if you're a quiet guy, if you're a quiet guy, a leader, that's different. But I agree with you. But I think the quarterback, every time they come in the huddle, I started a freshman the last 5 games his freshman year,
Mhm.
and it's something he had to learn because seniors are in there, and we didn't win every game, but the seniors, they look at him like, you better know what you're doing and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
That's
that was me my sophomore year. I was first year playing quarterback, and my coach got on me a lot about that. Is you got to be vocal, you got to own the huddle.
that's good. Was there ever a time for you, Tommy, when the switch came on, when the light came on, when you said, "Hey, I've got to step up training. I want to be the best I can be." Is there a time when you said, you made the decision, I got to get after it? Is there a
Yeah.
time like that?
I'd say
What
after
about
my
me?
sophomore year, I think. That's when I first started going to Coach Velasquez. I met him and just seeing the way, especially Caden Gebhart. I mean, I lifted with him, seeing the way he lifted, seeing the way Jordan Carhoff lifts. I mean, I used to be buddies with them. And just experiencing that real true weight room vibe.
Okay.
And I loved it. It was awesome. And that's when I really decided, like, yeah, you got to work your tail off, and that's the only way you're going to reach your goals.
That's really good. That's really, really good. Uh, two more questions. The best, I'm going to come and recruit you. And I used to do it a lot. I don't do it quite as much. I'm going to come and recruit you. And I'm going to look for the best quality you have. What's the best quality you? I mean, I don't care about your football right now. I want to know you as a person. What's the best quality that you have?
Um, I would say I'm a friendly guy. I think I'm really easy to talk to.
Okay.
I like to get to know everyone I'm around.
Okay.
I hate to be like that guy who's like just sits in the corner and just like doesn't know anything about anyone. I want to know everything. I want to know a lot of things about everyone so I can connect with them at a deeper level. So I like to say that I'm one person I could connect really well with.
It's really good. It's a good quality to have. Use it. But I always think of the white line guys, I call them. They joke around, they have fun and stuff on the sidelines, but as soon as they step across that white line, it's all business.
Oh yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? You can do that, but it's all business after that. Well, let's talk a little bit about recruiting. I'm not caught up in that very much. How's recruiting going for you right now?
It's not bad transferring to Olentangy. I just reached out to a bunch of coaches about me going to Olentangy. I'm looking really deeply in the Ivy Leagues right now. So Mac and Ivies I'm looking at. Especially Dartmouth's probably up there with one of my number ones. Story about that. The offensive coordinator there was my dad's offensive coordinator in Miami, so that was pretty cool. When we went down there, they were able to reconnect. So yeah, I mean, recruiting's not going awful. I mean, it's starting to get better as I'm getting bigger. That was one of the things that recruiters told me.
I see. I'm not a big star guy. I'm not a big this guy, this guy. I think you gotta just know what you're doing as a scout or evaluator or talent guy. And I think the other thing, a smart move with you. I don't know it's a long ways away, but you're talking about the Ivy Leagues. Well, it's good football. I mean, it's fun football. But when you come out, you're going to make a lot of money.
Exactly.
See what I'm saying? So you might as well go to. You might as well benefit from that. Plus, I think it's good football. I mean, it's not great football, but it's competitive.
Oh, 100%.
And you never know. You never know.
Yeah, especially with them being allowed in the FCS playoffs too.
Right.
They get an FCS playoff spot. So I think that's also a big thing that I'm looking there.
Well, Tommy, thank you very much for doing this. We had to struggle a little bit to get it all, but it was good.
Yeah, thank you a lot for having me on.
I really appreciate you coming on. Okay.